Hello guys, today we're going to be making basil pesto pasta, and that is Sidhu. He is going to be my sous chef for today. So I'm going to be showing you all the ingredients to make this amazing pasta. So the ingredients that we're going to be using are very simple.
So firstly, we've got the fresh basil plant and we're going to get the leaves from here. It's such a luscious green plant and I can't wait to try this one. And then we've got some extra virgin olive oil. You can use the regular olive oil as well. And then some pine nuts for some pine nutty flavor. We're going to use this in the sauce as well as with the pasta. Then some parmesan cheese. You can use the dry parmesan cheese, the craft version, or you can use the fresh one. It just doesn't matter. It gives the good flavor in any form. And then we've got some pasta. I'm using the rigatoni pasta, which is good. It's a really nice one, but you can also use penne, spaghetti, macaroni. It just doesn't matter. It's just that this sauce is to die for. The pasta really doesn't matter. The garlic cloves, I've used about, I think, 10, and usually you can add up like from 1 to 10, and I'm obviously going to use like 10 of them because they just give that added flavor. And then I've got one huge big onion. We've got the pasta cooking with some salt, and I don't add oil in this.
Okay guys, so I have a mixie jar, and with this I'm going to be adding, out of the 10 cloves of garlic, I'm going to add like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, okay? 7 cloves, and then we're going to use the 3 other cloves for the sauce, for the dish like later. But then now we're just going to use the 7, and then we're going to add like how much ever you feel like. Just like if you want it to be a very pine nutty taste, then add like a handful, so much of pine nuts, or like a little more, like how much ever you want basically. And then we're gonna add some salt, just a little bit, just so that it loosens this up, and adds some water. And then we are gonna blitz it.
So now I've just blitzed it and the garlic has been minced perfectly. We don't want the pine nuts to be perfectly crushed because that's going to happen in the next few steps. But the main is to get the garlic minced, which is very important. Now I've just freshly washed the basil leaves and these look so good. They're so fresh because they're just off the plant, and I'm gonna take them and add them into the mixing jar where they're gonna get mixed. Okay, now I realized that this is not mixing well, so I'm gonna add some oil just so that it gets mixed really well. Now I'm gonna add like 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. The more the merrier, and I feel like I've added more for sure, but that's just gonna make it yummier. And then blitz. Now I'm heating a pan and I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and remember those 3 garlic cloves? That's what these guys are now. I've just chopped them in the way that I like to eat them, and then I'm gonna add that to the hot oil and just get them to infuse in the oil. And the best part is that this infusion is literally gonna be in every bite of the pasta. And oh my god, that just sounds so good. I can't wait. And mix the garlic. You don't want it to burn too much, you just want to get the flavor out. Just make sure that it doesn't darken. And then we've got the onions, which we've sliced up, and then we're going to slowly add them to the oil and the garlic, and we're just gonna wait and then mix it all up and just saute this until it turns like a good golden brown. And the aim here is to caramelize the onions. Shit. We're back. Okay, so mix until they get golden brown, and it's fine if the garlic is turning to brown because it would stop happening in a bit, and even if it gets burnt, the taste of it would be really good. And we're gonna try and use red onions because that's good. And now we're gonna take a cling foil and then add some pine nuts to it. It just doesn't matter how much you add, it just depends on how much pine nuts you need in your pasta. And then we're gonna wrap it up and wrap it completely well because you don't want anything to fall out, and you need to make sure that it's all in place. And then you put it on a hard surface, and then think of someone you really hate, and then you just go bam 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 and just keep hitting it. And you don't want it to like completely get powdered, you just want to roughly chop it. And yeah, getting those two which got out of this cling wrap, and you just keep hitting it until they're like roughly chopped. And then you're gonna take that, and then you're gonna add that to the sauteing onions and garlic. And now these three are gonna be best friends, and they're gonna taste so good, especially when the pine nuts get roasted in the olive oil with the garlic flavor. That's just the best thing that could happen. Now we're trying to get this to like a dark brownish consistency, just so that the sweetness of the onion comes out, the pine nuts are well roasted, and the garlic stays brown. This is going to be really good. Now you're going to reduce the heat a bit and then add the pesto sauce in, which looks so gorgeous. It's very important to make sure that the oil is not too hot, because otherwise the pesto is just going to burn, and that's not going to be good. Now you see how it's become this dark green color, which is the right consistency. And now it's time to add the pasta. So you add little by little into the sauce, just to make sure that you get all the pasta covered in this amazing sauce. And you just keep mixing just to see that every bit of the pasta is coated. It's not going to be very saucy, but you need to make sure that it does look green and you've got onions covered all around your pasta, and there is no sauce, which is just at the bottom. So you just keep mixing, and then you add more, you mix again, and then I'm sure you can add a little bit more there. And look at this color, look at this mixture, it looks so good. It's just the right amount of olive oil, and the sauce just looks so good. Can't wait to eat this. Just look at this, guys, just look at this. This looks amazing. And then I'm adding some extra Parmesan cheese, and there's just no limit for this one, because it's just what the heart wants.